Wonder Murmur, where whispers weave the heart.
Hello, little hearts. A new whisper begins. In a village nestled among snow-dusted hill, where the street lamps glowed like warm fireflies on a cold winter's night, there lived a lady named Mrs. Jones. She was a little round, with cheeks like rosy apples, and a smile that crinkled her eyes into warm crescents. Every Saturday, as the first snowflakes of winter began to dance, children would hurry to her cottage, their boots crunching on the frozen ground. They came for one thing, Mrs. Jones's famous hot chocolate. The moment they stepped inside, a wave of warmth and a scent of cinnamon and melted chocolate washed over them. Mrs. Jones, her hands busy stirring a giant pot on the hearth, would laugh. Come in, find a cozy spot." A little boy named Leo would always be the first to ask. "What's the secret ingredient, Mrs. Jones? Is it a special spice?" She'd wink. "It's the most precious ingredient of all, my dear. A pinch of love." The children would giggle, watching her as she took a small silver spoon, with a loving smile, pretended to pluck something from the air, dropping it into the pot. "I just put some love in the pot," she'd say. "And when you drink it, you can feel its warmth spreading through your heart." As they sipped the rich, creamy liquid, Mrs. Jones would gather them around the fire. Her voice, soft as a lullaby, would fill the room with stories. She didn't just tell tales of Santa Claus. She told stories about ordinary people who did extraordinary things. She spoke of a baker who gave away his bread to the hungry, a little girl who found a lost puppy in a storm, and a grumpy old man who finally learned to smile. In every story, the hero was not a warrior or a princess, but a person whose heart was full of kindness. The children listened, their eyes wide with wonder. They started to see their world in a new light. One afternoon, after a particularly moving story about sharing, a little girl named Lily looked at her friend. "My cup feels so full of warmth," she said. "I wish I could share this feeling with someone else." Her words sparked an idea. The children decided to form a kindness club. They wouldn't just listen to stories, they would become the stories. They started small, shoveling the snow from their elderly neighbor's driveway and leaving a small bag of cookies on her porch. But the simple acts felt so good that they decided to do more. The next week, they saw their town's mail carrier, Mr. Finn, shivering in the cold. They went home, each child taking a turn to write a note on a little paper. "Thank you for all your hard work," the notes said. And they delivered them to him. Mr. Finn's face, usually so tired, broke into a wide, genuine smile. Their kindness club grew bolder. They organized a group sing-along at the local nursing home, their small voices filling the halls with joy. An old woman, who hadn't spoken in months, began to hum along, a fragile smile on her lips. They started a town-wide food drive and were amazed at how much they collected. But with their new mission, a problem arose. The children, so focused on their own projects, began to argue. "My idea for the food drive was better," cried Leo. "No, mine was," shouted Lily. "You were always trying to take over." Their small kindness club, once so united, was starting to fray. They were so busy trying to be good that they forgot to be kind to each other. One Saturday, they arrived at Mrs. Jones's cottage, the air between them thick with a chilly silence. Mrs. Jones saw the tension in their faces. She didn't scold them. She simply poured them each a cup of her hot chocolate and sat down, stirring her own mug with a pensive look. "Do you know," she said, her voice soft, "a fire needs more than one log to burn bright. If you try to burn a single log, it will smoke and go out. But when you put many logs together, they create a blazing, magnificent fire that keeps everyone warm." The children looked at each other, their faces filled with realization. Their own arguments had been like a single struggling log. They had forgotten that the most important part of their club wasn't their own ideas, but their shared effort. After that day, the children began to work together again, this time with a new purpose. They listened to each other, they shared the credit, and they remembered to be kind to the people right next to them. One day, they decided to do something special for Mrs. Jones herself. They all gathered at her cottage, not for hot chocolate, but to give back some of the love she had so freely given them. "Mrs. Jones," said Leo, his voice full of gratitude, "we've learned so much from you. We wanted to thank you." One by one, they handed her a beautifully decorated card, a little gift, or a heartfelt message. Mrs. Jones's eyes welled up with tears. "Oh, my dears," she whispered, her voice choked with emotion. "This is the most wonderful gift. Your hearts are so full of kindness." The children had learned that love wasn't a secret ingredient in a recipe. It was a feeling that grew when it was shared. The warmth of the hot chocolate was a gift, but the warmth they felt in their hearts, a warmth they had created themselves, was the real magic. And as the years passed, those children grew up, but they never forgot the lessons they learned from Mrs. Jones. They carried the magic of her hot chocolate, the magic of kindness, of generosity, and of working together, and they spread it wherever they went, making the world a brighter and warmer place for everyone.
Wonder murmur, the story departs, yet the whisper imparts.